But it's, oh God, it's so cool to me.
It's
Have you like ever hurt somebody, like genuinely really hurt somebody? Like long lasting damage?
Probably.
I mean, that's the thing. Like,
knock
there's
a lot
all
of
this stuff
people
now,
out.
like the CTE shit, like people getting like actual brain.
That clean
Yes.
haired
Like-
kid, like fucking hit him in the head like 200
Yeah,
times.
that fight I was watching, I was like, I was also shocked how many punches that kid could take.
That's
like
some
his head,
serious brain damage.
like, no, seriously, you probably didn't see this fight, but this guy got hit like
200 times.
Yeah, like literally, I'm watching the fight like, just end this shit.
Oh my
And
gosh.
you know, but I was
And
also
he was just getting like beat the fuck up. At some point, don't they call it?
Well,
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm telling you, it was literally like, I know everyone in the room we're all watching, we're like, yo, we're also just shocked that he's not getting knocked out. We're like, this guy's head is made of steel. Because he just kept taking punches. He was
Shout
just
out to that
walking into
guy.
punches.
Shout out.
He got very popular from that.
No, it's like, part of me was like, who's this guy? I wanted to find him
Yeah.
because he got hit so
Dude,
much.
he went
And
from like 3,000 followers to 130,000.
so, okay, so this is kind of what I want to talk about now. This is obviously not the same exact thing. But you mentioned this on a podcast. This whole Dana White, Jake Paul, paying the fighters more, all this stuff. And I kind of heard your response. What do you think about that? Because what you just said, right? You're a very, very popular fighter, extremely popular fighter, right? Not every single fighter in the UFC is Sugar Sean.
Yeah.
I'm not saying these people are not as valuable as individuals or as fighters, but as like on the grand scale, if we're talking about money in and money out, right?
Yeah.
Because so many more people are engaged with you and know you on this social presence, and like they're gonna come to your fight, they're gonna pay for your stuff, they're gonna buy into you because they're excited about it. There's not many, if we talked about earlier, who's the most popular fighters, there's not many who are like pulling that.
UFC's very good at getting you into like a big contract, 6-7 fights. So I blow up after 3 fights, but I'm still at 4 fights left to fight out the contract that I'm on right now to get paid. I have 2 more fights on this contract that I'm on right now. I'm not on a bad. It's not horrible.
Yeah.
If you compare it to Jake Paul, like it is horrible.
Right.
But if you compare it to the UFC, like it could, it's. I feel like and Dana White went on record after my last fight saying we're gonna pay him.
Of course.
Which is rare. You don't ever hear Dana saying that. Like,
Of course.
You don't hear him saying
I feel like we've all like. I feel it's so. I don't even want to make this about this, but I feel like Steve was like fucking totally rooting for you too.
Oh yeah, Steve. Wants
But
to
it's
be
also
paid.
just like, dude, you're fucking popular.
Yeah.
And this is the thing when I remember Jake put out this like, pay the UFC fighters like 50% of this, and it's like billion. It's like, dude, what about the years and years and years that Dana and that entire team and that organization built the UFC to build that platform for him to say, oh, you should just give this away because he's trying to make a point at this like this social clout, and at the same time looking like a good guy, being like, give more money to the fighters, and like I respect that, but at the same time, like it was all self-serving. All that's self-serving for Jake to say that.
Everything we do is selfish.
Yeah, and it is what it is. I'm not mad at him. Jake's a very smart guy, but at the same time, to shoot that shot at Dana is like, dude, it's a fighter who just comes in right now. How would they be entitled to that much money when they're not adding as much to the UFC 100%. That the UFC's adding to them?
Dude, 100%. Like that. Yeah. There's some people that aren't gonna make. They'll get paid 10 and 10. Say they win, they get 20,000. Like the UFC didn't make that on them. I mean, they're still getting it, but fighting's so fucked up that it is crazy that you're fighting for such little money.
When you say little money, what do you like? How much are we talking here for one fight? For someone like you, in starting out, how much are they paying you, or are they not paying you at all?
8 fights in the UFC, or something like that.
Yeah.
I made a couple $100,000 after from my last fight, and I believe I'm worth $1 million.
100%.
Like per fight, I would like.
Bro, you're popping.
But that's I'm not even gonna get that next contract, probably. Like that's just how the UFC works. If I'm the champ, then it's different. But I'm not. I'm the people's champ, but that doesn't pay you the same. But yeah, so I mean, like this year. I fought 3 times, 3 KOs, 3 bonuses, didn't make $1 million from fighting.
Yeah.
They don't bring into they don't oh, let's look at his Instagram and decide how much we're going to pay him.
I was going to ask that. Social media doesn't really play into it?
Not really. I think like